Trying to center this, it always looks slightly tilted. Just slightly, though. Okay, so lots to talk about today. Yesterday night, instead of doing this, I completely forgot that I had dinner with Grandpa. So last night, I went out to dinner with my grandfather, as well as my uncle and my two cousins. My aunt went to Hong Kong for some reason, I don't know why. And my sister also didn't attend, because she had, of all things, a BTS movie thing to watch at the theater. So it was just my parents and I, with Grandpa, Uncle, and two cousins. Maybe the food from last night wasn't hot enough when it arrived out, because I tell you, I had one of the hardest dumps of my whole life this morning. So last night, after dinner with Grandpa, my friends came over again. They wanted to actually come over earlier, but then, I told them maybe not tonight, or if tonight, then probably later, because I'm going out to dinner. So, we finished dinner around 9 p.m. By the time I got home, 9:20-ish. That's when they came over. Matter of fact, they were here before I even got home. The moment I left dinner, I called them. I was like, yo, I'm leaving dinner now. You guys can come over now if you want. And they were there before I even made it back home. So, last night, when my friends came over, instead of watching a movie like Smile 2, which I don't think we're gonna watch, because my friend doesn't seem interested in watching it because he already watched it. The reason we watched Smile 1 is because he watched it ahead of time and recommended the film to us. So we watched Smile 1, I was hoping we would watch Smile 2 as well, but he doesn't seem interested because he already watched it. So, tough shit. I probably have to watch it on my own at some point. What we watched instead is we watched the Until Dawn movie. Now, I'm not going to talk about the movie because while we were watching the film, while the film was on the TV screen, we weren't really paying attention. Instead, we were playing a card game while the movie was on in the background. So, I didn't really pay too much attention to the movie. I didn't really catch all the details. So, if I were to talk about the movie, I would actually need to rewatch it first and actually take in the film before I properly dive into it. I will say, though, that the movie, from what I saw, because we did pay attention to, the third... how do I say this? We didn't pay attention really to the first 2/3 of the film. So I guess you could say we paid attention to the 3/3. So basically the third act. We paid more attention to that. But for the first 2 acts of the film, didn't really pay too much attention. So from what I did see of the film, I will say that it is almost nothing like the game. And I don't think I particularly like it. My friend actually made the opposite argument, that had they followed the game to a T, then we would have known what would have happened. So he actually wanted to see something different, something original. A fresh take on the concept or, you know, the story. But seeing the movie itself, or at least the parts that I did see, I'm just like, I really wish they stuck to the original storyline. I really wish they did that. You don't have to stick to the storyline, you know, point for point, exactly the same. You could change some things up, but for the most part, stick to the same story. The movie and the film is damn near unrecognizable, only sharing the name and a handful of aspects. Like, you know, Dr. Hill, and there was also a Joshua picture cameo. Couple of visual references as well, but for the most part, the storyline is completely different. Now, there may have been some tie-in to the film at the very end, kind of like saying maybe this movie took place before or after the game. I don't know, because spoilers, Dr. Hill died in the film. I don't know. So I'm not going to talk about the Until Dawn movie now. I'll talk about it whenever I get around to actually rewatching the movie and fully paying attention to it. However, instead, like I said, while the film was on, we were playing a card game. We were playing 5-second rule. And, man, I felt attacked. I felt attacked twice in the same moment. So for those who don't know or don't remember when I broke down the game before, 5-second rule. You have a card, you pick a card that has a question on it, or just a prompt. You ask the person in front of or beside you. You have 5 seconds basically to list out 3 things that the question is asking. So if I pull a card saying, name 3 fruits, you have 5 seconds to list out 3 fruits. And if you can't think about it, the next person goes, but they can't say the same thing. So for example, I pull a card that says name 3 fruits. The person next to me says apple, oranges, and blanks out. Couldn't think of a third fruit. All right, the next person goes. But they cannot say apples or oranges. They have to list out a different 3 different fruit. What? They have to list out 3 different fruits that wasn't already said. So, one question that was asked, you have 5 seconds. Name 3 people who should keep their shirts on. My friend said, me, and then 2 of our other friends. Now, he listed one reason for the other friend, because we actually had another friend defend him, but he's been working out, so he's actually quite ripped. So then my friend said, yeah, but he's short. Damn, I feel attacked twice there. So name 3 people who should keep their shirt on. Me, and then our other friend, because he's short. Now, I feel attacked twice there because 1, I was said there, and 2, because our friend was short. Don't forget, folks, I'm short as well. My group of friends who came over last night, I'm the shortest one out of all of them. So damn, now I feel attacked twice. Alright, I should keep my shirt on. And another reason is because I'm short. Alright. Now, not gonna lie, I would have said me as well. Had it been my turn to answer 3 people who should keep their shirts on, I would have said me as well. And then I said some other people like Trump, and I forget who I said as the third one. But yeah, it's like, damn, I feel attacked. You see, folks, this is why I treat myself like shit. This is why I treat myself like absolute trash. Softens the blow when others do it to me. Anyways, give me a second. I need to go grab a spoon because, believe it or not, this is why I should keep my shirt on. My mom came in a couple minutes ago. She dropped off a waffle cone with a scoop of ice cream in it. This is why I'm fat. I would just put it in the freezer, but then, like, do you really want me to eat this past midnight? Or do you want me to eat it now before it's even 11 p.m.? Give me a second, I'm gonna go grab a spoon. Alright, I'm back. Is it green? Is it shiny? No, that's not shiny. You know, speaking of green and shinies, yesterday in Pokemon Go, I got not one, but two shiny Chanseys. And then guess what? Today, I got another shiny Chansey. A little bit of better news. Yesterday in Pokemon Go, I hatched a Hundo Galarian Darumaka. And also yesterday, bittersweet, on my sister's phone, she got, or rather I got, playing on her phone, a male Hundo Frillish. It's the first Hundo on her game. Now, it's kind of sad that I cannot trade it to myself, otherwise the IVs will re-roll. It'll randomize again. The chances of me trading a Hundo to myself and it still be a Hundo is incredibly rare. So, on my sister's phone, got her first ever Hundo, a male Frillish. You know, last night there was also a couple of other questions that came up when we were playing 5-second rule. Questions like, name 3 places that are ticklish, I guess. My friend said the nape of the neck. I'm just like, the nape? The back of the neck? The nape? Wouldn't the front of the neck be more ticklish? Oh, you guys want to hear something pretty based? So yesterday night, when I went out to dinner with my grandpa, this happened right after dinner was over. We all got up and we were about to go to the cars and leave. So I had my Nintendo Switch with me because I be a gaming. You would think people like my younger cousins would do this, but nope. Big cousin at the table gaming on his Nintendo Switch during dinner in front of Grandpa. Alright, so, after dinner, we were walking to the cars. I handed my mom the bags of takeout as well as my Nintendo Switch to bring to the car. I handed her the car keys so that she could wait in the car, while I'd stay back, open the door, and, you know, walk Grandpa to the car. My other cousins were there to help Grandpa do that, but, you know, as a gesture of a good grandkid, I stayed back to make sure Grandpa got to the car fine. So, I handed my Switch to my mom, as well as the takeout. So, when we got home, When we got home, we all got inside, and I'm just like, Mother, where is my device? Where is my Switch? My mom's just like, you never gave it to me. You never gave it to me. All I was holding was the takeout. I'm just like, Mother, I handed it to you. No, you didn't. Did you leave it at the restaurant? Go check in the car. Maybe you left it in the car. Gaslighting me that I didn't hand it to her. So I went back out to the car to check, and there it was, sitting in the car at the front passenger seat's cup holders. Why the hell would I put it at the front passenger seat cup holders if I had it in my hands? And if I didn't hand it to my mother who sat in the front passenger seat, why would it be there? So I told my mom, like, Mom, it was in the front seat. Why would I put it there if I was sitting in the back? And then my mom was just like, this is why you shouldn't have handed it to me. My mind is only for working and earning money to raise you. You should not have handed it to me. Shifting the blame to me for handing it to her. I don't know, is that a certified woman moment? Shifting the blame instead of taking accountability? Is that just a certified woman moment? Believe me, gents, fellas out there, when you have not only a mother but also a sister, you experience and deal with your fair share of hypocrisy and bullshit like this. And speaking of which, before we talk about the shows, let me tell you guys some more cases of bullshit I had to deal with at work. So this actually happened last time, I just forgot to mention it. So I had this dude who came in, I was the one who helped him before. Dude had $300 to spend out of his, insurance coverage. So he had $300. That was his limit. That was his budget. So he had $300 to spend. So he was looking at something that was $150. And then he was like, anything a little more expensive, maybe like $250, $280, little closer to the price range, the budget. All right. So then I gave him some things that are a little bit pricier and closer to his budget. So he decided to purchase this one item that was $280. And then he tried to haggle me down. He tried to bargain me down. It's like, can you do any better? I'm just like, no, you asked for this. You said no to the $150. You wanted something maybe $280 range. And that's exactly what you got. No, I'm not going to lower any more for you. You got exactly what you asked for. And so, we were doing the insurance process. Now, like I said, he had $300 to spend. He had $300 covered, and he was only purchasing something worth $280. So I asked him, did you want me to just claim the full $300, the $20 remaining that you didn't use, have it as a $20 store credit to use for next time, or just claim the $280? Only $280 to purchase what you would like today. And he said $280. I'm just like, are you sure? Because if that's the case, and there's going to be $20 unused from the insurance. He's like, yes, I'm sure. Go ahead. All right. So the moment I hit submit, the moment I hit claim, he's just like, can I do that as well? Can I purchase that as well for $25? I'm willing to spend the $5 out of pocket. And I'm just like, I just hit submit. I can't exactly cancel, And I can't exactly submit again for just mere $20. Like, what am I claiming under $20? Insurance company is going to call me like, hey, there was a claim for just $20. What was that about? I can't exactly be like, oh, the customer changed his mind. He only purchased $280. He didn't want to use the $20. But then he decided he wanted to use the 20, so, you know, I claimed it again. That just would sound stupid, right? So, congratulations, man. You played yourself. You didn't want the 20 remaining to be used up, and, well, now you can't use it at all. Congratulations, buddy. Not only is that 20 bucks less business and profit to us, but that's also just 20 bucks that you don't get to use. Good job, buddy. Congratulations. I even told you about it. I even talked about it to you first. And you still decided, nah, only however much is covered. Or however much is required. You know, there is one spot on my tongue for some reason is super sore. I didn't bite into it. Nothing poked it. For some reason, the left side of my tongue is extremely sore. Oh, and speaking of getting poked, earlier today, I was using screwdrivers, and you've heard me mention before how much I hate using the minus screwdriver over the plus. So as I was using the screwdriver, it slipped and it stabbed my finger. I don't know if you guys can see it there. You can barely see it. This little dot right here, if you look at my finger right here, my fat ass sausage finger, there's a little stab wound right there. It's very small, but you know, it's an injury that could have been prevented. So I have one more case of bullshit I had to deal with at work, and then we'll talk about the shows. Okay, so the other day, 3 ladies showed up at work, and it took me a second to recognize one of them, or rather 2 of them. It took me a moment to recognize them. The moment I recognized them, I remembered how much of a hassle they are, how needy, how demanding, how annoying they are. So this lady came in asking if I lost the store credit, so basically like a store voucher, can you still look up on your records for me to use it? And I kept on trying to tell her, store policy needs you to bring it back. We need to take it back for it to be considered used. And they just tried to argue like, no, you should be able to have it in your records and let me use it if I don't have it. Because I misplaced it, I lost it. And I kept on trying to tell her, well, store policy, we need to take it back. You know, as much as I want to, I can't be like, you lost it, that's not my problem, that's your problem. I'm not the one who lost it, you lost it. As much as I wish I could say that, I can't. All I can say is, better go home and try to find it, because we need to take it back for it to be considered used. Now, what is a store credit? A voucher for anyone, in case they don't know? Let me just explain something real quick. Kind of like the story I said earlier. For example, the dude had $300 to spend out of his insurance, but what he was purchasing was only $280. Alright, so if he had claimed all $300 out of his insurance, but only used $280, that meant $20 was unused. But you know, that's still $20 that came to us, which went towards nothing to purchase. So you would then get a $20 store credit to use towards something next time. Next time you come in, you buy something that's $100, well, give back the $20 store credit, you would only spend 80, right? Because the 20 came to us earlier, and now you have a store credit, a voucher to use. So that $100 item you were going to purchase next time, technically $20 is already with us. But we just need the paper, you know. We need the physical paper to take back to confirm, yes, you had $20 with us previously, so let us take this back to make sure, right? We have written in our records, yes, this day we gave out this store credit. However, we cannot just give a duplicate, or we cannot just, you know, put a check mark next to the record saying, all right, this person used it, they come back, they try coming back and using it, we can't accept it. Because not every single time someone comes in with a store credit or a voucher, we're going to check on record did they try to use it previously just without the paper. And we can't give out a duplicate just in case, you know, someone says, oh, I lost it. Can you give me a duplicate? All right, I gave it to you. And then they come back saying they found it. All right, now here's 2 store credits, right? We don't know that. We're not going to check our records every single time to confirm. Someone hands us a store credit, we're just going to accept it. We're not going to be like, did you try to cheat us before? Hold on, let me look up all your store records. Right? Think of it this way. If I had a Walmart gift card, do you think I would be able to go to Walmart and purchase without it? If I told the employee, hey, I have a Walmart gift card, but I don't have it on me right now, would you be able to charge me? Like, would you be able to put it through that, and then I just bring it back to you next time? Like, no. I need to have it physically there with me to use it. I don't think that's the most outlandish idea. I don't think that's the most complicated concept to understand, right? So why is it that when I'm at work, these absolute bitches try to come in and try to argue with me like, no. I lost it, but I should still be able to use it just because you have a record of it. Like, do you guys get what I'm saying? If you want to use the store voucher, right? You bring it back for it to be considered used. I cannot just make a note next to it like, all right, used. Next time this person comes in, 2-3 years later, don't accept it. Right? And like I said, I'm not gonna hand out a duplicate. Because this lady here, she tried to make the argument, it's a small piece of paper. It's hard to keep track of. I lost it. You should still be able to let me use and purchase without it. Well, what would happen then if I gave out a duplicate and then they come back having both, claiming they have 2 different vouchers? This is bullshit I have to deal with at work. People that I deal with at work, they just don't think. They just try to argue as if they're right, as if they have some sort of advantage, they have some sort of argument to win. And what I really don't understand is the number of times I told them, no, you have to bring it back for it to be used. We need to take it back for it to be considered used. That's just store policy. They just kept on arguing and arguing and arguing. And I just repeated the same thing until they finally heard it and understood it. It's like, no, you need to bring it back, but you should be able to let me use it without it. No, you need to bring it back, but I lost it. It's so easy to lose. No, you need to bring it back. Like, no matter what you say, my position isn't gonna change. The things I say isn't going to change. Like, what do you expect me to do? What do you expect to happen? You need to bring it back for it to be considered used. But I lost it, so you should let me use it. You should let me purchase without it. Okay, sure. Just because you said so, whatever you like. Is that what you expect me to say? You guys have no idea how much I have to hold myself back, how much I have to restrict myself from saying things that I really want to say. But no, I have to keep, I have to keep a happy face on. I need to keep my composure. I wish I could be like, what did I ever do in life to deserve this kind of treatment on a daily basis? And then I have to remember, oh yeah, there's a lot of things I've done to make me deserve this. Matter of fact, I deserve much worse than this. Well, before we waste any more time, let us start talking about these shows, because we have 3 different shows to talk about today. Because today's Sunday, and today was The Walking Dead, Dead City, Season 2. I believe Episode 5. Yes, today was episode 5. There are 3 more episodes after this. Oh, you know what? There was... last night, actually while I was having dinner with my grandfather, last night, there was a trailer for Squid Game Season 3. As well as a trailer for Gen V Season 2. Now, I haven't watched Gen V just yet. However, that is next, because I also have the Season 3 finale of The Boys to discuss tonight. If we don't get shiny Dialga, that is. So I have finished The Boys Season 3. Next up in the timeline, next up in the continuity, is Gen V. So I don't get to enjoy, I don't get to bask in the glory that is Jeffrey Dean Morgan's acting just yet in The Boys Season 4. No, I got a whole spin-off show to watch before I get to experience that eye candy. And yeah, also from Season 3, Episode 8. Yep, there's that too. Okay, so let us talk about Dead Shitty, Season 2, Episode 5. This episode was, in some ways, kind of disappointing, especially the ending, the way the episode ended. The season already... One criticism these spin-offs have had is the runtime, or how long the season is. This is the first season of a spin-off that is more than 6 episodes. Daryl Dixon, both seasons, 6 episodes. The Ones Who Live, 6 episodes. Dead City Season 1, 6 episodes. Right now, Dead City Season 2 is 8 episodes. So the pacing should have been better. However, there's still the same problem with rushed storytelling. And that was really evident with the end of this episode. Now, the problem is it could have been avoided. There's still 3 more episodes, but that's also the problem. There's only 3 more episodes. So what happened at the end of this episode? Well, it felt underwhelming. I was pretty disappointed. So let's see. We start off the episode with someone sabotaging the Croat's fuel source, or fuel line. The source of the methane. Croat is in this nice fancy department store, picking out a brand new suit to look presentable to the Dama, I guess. And that place is rather clean, rather tidy. Unless someone cleaned it up, I suppose in the apocalypse, 3-piece suits aren't really a necessity. You know what? I should put on some music before talking about this. What song should I put on? This came to mind, so I'm gonna play it. So while the Croat was picking out a nice suit, someone infiltrated his methane operation and cut the source. I thought it was maybe Navarrese, however her name is pronounced. But no, I guess it wasn't. Because she didn't even know where it was. As, seen in this episode. She didn't know where the methane was. So now power is out on 6th Avenue? So our characters of Maggie, Pearly, and Herschel, they head back to that place in the park, hidden in the tall grass where that group of people were hidden all this time from, the Croat, the Barazzi. They return only to find that Navarrese, maybe it's Navarrese, that Navarrese has taken it over and claimed it as New Babylon. God, nobody likes Navarrese. And so she locks up whatever her name was, the leader of the group, along with Pearly. They have a couple of discussions throughout the episode. Cool. Not really that great. Again, that extended runtime with the season, instead of 6 episodes being 8, you could have filled the gaps in much better, instead of these pointless conversations. So she arrests Pearly because of treason. Pearly reported that he killed the outlaw Negan, but no, let him live. And then Maggie tries to back him up, and then she gets arrested for lying and abetting. Whatever. So Pearly gets locked up with What's-Her-Face, the leader of the group. She actually gives Maggie a mission. Offer New Babylon's surrender to Negan so that Negan and the Croat can actually go to this place at this time to accept the New Babylon surrender, where they can then ambush them. Maggie's just like, why would I do this? Because your son will be staying here with us while you go and do it. But obviously Maggie's not gonna do it. What Maggie ends up doing is she goes back. She almost frees Armstrong, but then decides not to. She has her, she has her sneak strike ready. She was about to sneak strike and kill Navirez. However, Herschel's eye contact just gave it away. There she was, Maggie with a sharp object to Navirez's throat, and actually, it was Ginny who pulled a gun on Herschel. Like, Ginny, what are you doing? I'm thinking Ginny's thought was, if she couldn't kill Negan herself, then Navirez would, because Navirez also wants Negan dead. And, well, it's execution time, because we know Navirez, she just loves hanging people. She hangs the leader of the group, whatever her name was. And then, once again, the community there, started doing that stupid moaning again. Although, I guess this time, it's slightly explained why they do that. They leave their dead to become walkers to protect them, to hide them. I guess the moaning is to mimic, like, walker growls, because the camera panned to it. They mixed the growling with the moaning together. I don't know, their moaning was still pretty stupid. Now, what I find also stupid is, normally with these shows, sometimes, this wasn't the case with, like, Gregory. In this show, the two different instances we've seen someone hang, they died instantly. There was no struggle, there was no anything, they died instantly. I think I heard at some point that hanging, you die from, like, the rope breaking your neck rather than suffocating. I don't know. But yeah, the lady, the leader of the group, she died instantly. There was no struggle, no anything. And I only say this because, well, it's time to execute Maggie now. The moaning attracted walkers, all the noise attracted walkers, and they broke through the gate rather easily. And then one by one, every single person died, and none of them screamed in pain. They either died instantly, or they just kept on moaning. Alright, that was pretty stupid. Every single one of them died, an entire community of people gone just like that. Couple of New Babylon... Oop. I don't want your coach ad. Couple of New Babylon soldiers died as well, instead of running for their lives. Idiots. During the scuffle, the bench, the chair holding a Maggie actually topples over, and Maggie is actually hanging. Maggie actually could have died there because she was literally hanging from a noose. However, Ginny was able to come and rescue Maggie. And I'm just thinking like, wow, that's plot convenient. That's plot armor. Everyone else who hangs dies instantaneously, but Maggie here actually struggles for a bit. Before Ginny was able to get to Maggie, she did have to fight off a walker, and then it's revealed later on that Ginny is cut pretty badly on her side. It didn't look like a bite. It just looked like a big cut. I don't know, maybe, possibly Ginny could die if that's not treated, if that's not taken care of. Could get infected, she could bleed out, we don't know. I mean, let's face it, Walking Dead ain't no strangers to killing off kids. Carl died, Henry, Lizzie, Mika, Charlie on Fear the Walking Dead. Walking Dead's no stranger to killing off kids. What about Sam during the fall of Alexandria? Well, they go back inside in the safety of their new vacant home. Maggie and Herschel talk. Herschel finally reveals that yes, the Dama, she was there when he was kidnapped by the Croat. And he even reveals that the Dama was nice. Maybe Herschel was intrigued by her idea to bring back the city. So that's why, and yes, it is confirmed, it was indeed Herschel who set up the smoke I almost said smoke alarm. The smoke signal. It was confirmed last episode, I just didn't mention it. Well, they hear knocking on the door. And who is it? It's Bruegel's men clearing out the walkers and showing up. Well, that's where the episode ends, but that's only one storyline. The other storyline in the episode with Negan. So, like I said at the beginning, the Croat's power line got cut, and, well, Croat really did not get anything good from the Dama. The Dama, up to this point, keeps on having a rat with her, treating the rat better than both Dama and Negan. So they got Bruegel to agree with their alliance, fight off against New Babylon and defend the island. But now they also need Christos and his group of people. So they send in Negan and only Negan. And then she also tells Croat, take out that ridiculous outfit. You look like a bellhop, which was pretty funny. And poor Croat, he's just like, really? You don't like the suit? After all the effort I put in to look nice for you? Don't worry, Croat. Us bros recognize game. Us bros recognize effort where it's put in. She may not have appreciated your suit, but we do. Croat, you look fresh as hell in that suit. Even if it does kind of make you look like a bellhop, you still look fly as hell, my man. So Negan gets sent to go to Christos himself, bearing a gift. Just like the gift they gave Bruegel, a small canister of methane. So, Negan talking to Christos. Christos and Negan didn't really get off on the right foot, They didn't get along at the beginning. I need a drink of water, hold on. So Negan and Christos are talking, and surprise, Christos has 2 dogs. Hey, a fellow dog man, alright. So they talk. Christo tries to be intimidating, even though, I'll be honest, watching Christos try to be intimidating, dude didn't really have, aura at all to him. He wasn't really that imposing at all, at least not to me. He was given Negan's bat, though. So I kind of was afraid he would make Negan do the same thing. He would point it to Negan like, you're in my house now, and you're gonna do what I say. Hold the tip of your bat like you made me do it, and I'm gonna shock you. I was afraid he was gonna make Negan do the same thing that he did to him, but guess not. And surprise, 2 little girls run out. Turns out that Christos is a father, has a wife, 2 kids, and in the back room there's tons of kids back there. A whole bunch of families. Negan can relate, because remember, the Dama is constantly threatening Annie and Joshua, Negan's family. So they talk. Christos is just like, you gotta understand. You're asking us to go to war. We have families to protect here. And then he was talking about how, you know, he couldn't scavenge due to like his people and his territory. So the only way they could live was to agree to Brugel's games, bet everything. So because of betting, he lost his weapons, his home, everything. Negan was about to get Christos to agree to the alliance, but then the Croat shows up unannounced because he found one of Christos's blades as the one to cut off his power line. So Croat gassed the place, and while everyone was out, pulled Negan out of harm's way, and then the Croat's men just killed every single one of them. Croat, however, is just like, I did not kill the women and children. I'm not a monster. Alright. The Croat was like, the Dama ordered me to do this. Negan was like, did she order you to kill them? Well, they head back to the compound, and Negan actually kind of influences the Croat to stand up for himself. Because Negan's just like, the Dama treats her rat better than you. She respects her rat more than you and me combined. You need to stand up to the Dama, bro. I got your back. So the Croat does exactly that. He sticks up for himself, but the Dama just wasn't hearing it. Later on, who are you getting now? Dialga. And I've been stuck on Dialga for a while. Let's see, the Dama gets back to her room, but then she sees her poor rat completely stomped. Poor rat. Of course she believes it was the Croat who did it, so when the Croat came back to talk, the two argue like, you are nothing without me. You are nothing without me.
Take the shot.
Oop. Do not play that ad. This should be Ultra Sun. I'm pretty sure Dialga's exclusive to Ultra Moon. Palkia's exclusive to Ultra Sun, which is what we'll be hunting next. If this Dialga would shine. So, they get into a fight. The Croat pushes the Dama. She gets pinned underneath, like, a shelf. And then, the candles get tipped over, and a fire breaks. The Dama screams for... the Dama screams for the Croat to help. She's screaming Melee. I guess that's his real name. Oh, my bad. No, this is Ultra Sun. My bad. This is Ultra Sun. Palkia's Ultra Moon exclusive. My bad. You're right. This here is Ultra Sun. So this Dialga is Ultra Sun exclusive. Is it? Now I don't know anymore. Hold on. I think so. I think Dialga's Ultra Sun exclusive. I'm pretty sure. Hold on, let's check. Yep, Ultra Sun. Dialga's Ultra Sun exclusive. Palkia is Ultra Moon exclusive. Please try your favorite legendary next. I kind of can't, because I'm pretty sure I know what your favorite legendary is, and the only way to hunt it now is Dynamax Adventures. So anyways, the Croat leaves the Dama to die. We'll have to see if she actually dies or not. Who knows? Maybe she got a rush of adrenaline, pushed the shelf away from herself, and got out of the fire alive. XYZ Trio for Legend ZA? I already did that, though. I did that months ago. It's already done. And then the final scene of the episode, we see Negan back in his cell, scraping off his boot rat fur and blood with a knife. So it was Negan who killed the Damas rat, instigating the conflict. And that's the episode. You know, while the episode was airing, there was also this commercial for Jeffrey Dean Morgan, like, hosting an episode of, like, a game show. I don't know. What have you not done besides Dialga? Nothing. I've done them all. Every legendary from Ultra Sun and Moon wormholes I have done in the past. Every legendary from Dynamax Adventures I have done. The reason I'm hunting Dialga again is to put it into Legends Arceus. Why pick a shiny Dialga I already have when I can shiny hunt another one? Along with everything else I already have a shiny of. Why not hunt another one? By the way, I haven't mentioned this yet. You want to know what I've been up to lately? And what the plan is for the next little while that I will be doing on my own? Oh, shiny origin form Dialga, let me guess? Actually, no. It's just so I can have every shiny legendary in Legends Arceus. Because every legendary in that game is shiny locked. And the only way to get them shiny into the game is to hunt them from another game and transfer them in. So that's what I'm doing. All shiny legendaries that can be in Legends Arceus. So I already have the Lake Trio. Dialga's taking its sweet-ass time. Up next will be Palkia, Heatran, Regigigas, Giratina, Cresselia. You get the idea. Tornadus, Thundurus, and Landorus as well. So let me tell you what I've been up to lately, as well as what I plan to do. So, because these days I don't really have anything for myself to shiny hunt on my own time, because you know me, I really don't want to play Let's Go. Yes, and Amorous as well. I don't really have anything for myself to shiny hunt on my own time, like just throughout the day. So instead, what I've been working on, you guys already know that I'm replaying Brilliant Diamond. After I'm done replaying Brilliant Diamond, I will replay Legends Arceus in order to get Arceus in Brilliant Diamond. So I'm replaying both those games for Arceus in Brilliant Diamond. And then, after I've done those two games, I will be returning to the Sinnoh region once again, because long ago, many moons ago, maybe last year, I borrowed my friend's original regular diamond copy. Well, I shouldn't say original. I borrowed my friend's regular diamond copy because what I've wanted to do with it is do the void glitch and get myself a Darkrai and a Shaman in a regular Pokeball. Now, I'm doing that because in my Pokemon Home Living Dex, everything is in a regular Pokeball, if I can help it. Everything's in a regular Pokeball. Certain mythicals can be in Pokeballs, like Mew, Jirachi, Deoxys, Manaphy, some things like those, Celebi, can be in regular Pokeballs and not Cherish Balls. Now, the Sinnoh Mythicals are a real pain in the ass to get. Arceus, well, you know what I'm doing for that. Replaying Brilliant Diamond and Legends Arceus. However, the problem is with Darkrai and Shaman. See, I didn't have the foresight to replay a new save file of BDSP when the events were still active. All I stupidly did was claim them and then shiny hunt them. So I had no separate copy to get them in a regular Pokeball. And the event is long gone now. So the only way I can get them in a regular Pokeball, outside of Pokemon Go, is regular Diamond. So I need to replay, or rather play for the very first time, regular Diamond, do the Void Glitch, catch Darkrai and Shaman in a regular Pokeball. Now, I feel like you guys are gonna ask, if you're gonna do the Void Glitch for Darkrai and Shaman, why not just do that for Arceus as well, and save yourself 2 replays? Well, I still haven't decided if I'm gonna do that, and shiny hunt Arceus in Brilliant Diamond. I don't know, I'm still not sure on that yet. So, a quick summary. Replaying Brilliant Diamond and Legends Arceus to get Arceus in Brilliant Diamond. And then, I will play regular Diamond to get Darkrai and Shaman. That's a lot of Sinnoh games. That's Sinnoh overload right there. That's a whole bunch of the Sinnoh region. Before you argue, Hisui, same thing. So that's a lot of Gen 4 exposure. That's what I'm doing these days. I'm like halfway into replaying Brilliant Diamond. Once I'm done that, Legends Arceus time, and then regular Diamond time. You know, when I was growing up, I never played Gen 4. I never played Diamond and Pearl, and I never played Platinum. I know, sad childhood. When those games came out, I was too young. And I had the games, but I was too young and I was too stupid to understand how to play them, so I stopped playing them. And then I fell off of Pokemon. I got into Bakugan instead. I came back to Pokemon during the 5th generation, and I've been a fan of Pokemon ever since. So I never played Gen 4. And well, as much as I would love to be able to play Platinum now, it's not easy for me to get my hands on a copy. And you cannot do the Darkrai and Shaman thing on Platinum for some reason. It has to be regular Diamond and Pearl. So, there you go. I can try to get the Paldea Shiny Living Dex. See, if I were to do that, then... If I were to do a Shiny Living Dex for a game, a region, then I may as well just do a Shiny Living Dex, period. A Shiny Living Dex for everything. And I don't want to do that, because I don't want I don't want a brand new lifelong hobby. Every pseudo shiny challenge? I've considered doing that. But, you know, I'm not really too motivated. There's not really much motivation to do that besides just what can I do? Oh, here's something for me to do. Like, there's just not that much inspiration, not much passion behind why... Whoa, that voice crack. Behind why I want to do it. This will include Baxcalibur? Correct. It would also include 2 different Gudras. One for the Hisuian form. You know, to this day, I'm still a little scared to eat peanuts, despite the fact that I am confirmed not allergic. You know, growing up, we didn't know if I was allergic to peanuts or not, because we never got me tested. So, just as a precaution, I never ate peanuts. If there was ever something with peanuts in it, my parents would always be like, don't eat it. We don't know if you're allergic. We didn't know for sure if I was allergic or not. And because we never got me tested, we just never risked it. So I never ate peanuts growing up. Eventually, we got me tested and I am not allergic to peanuts. However, growing up my whole life not eating them and thinking I was possibly allergic to them, eating them now, I'm still scared to. Despite knowing I am 100% not allergic. Ugh. My sister, however, is mildly allergic. Which is strange because neither of our parents have a peanut allergy. But I suppose, I don't know, maybe an allergy can skip a generation? That's not impossible. Or maybe she's gonna be the first person in the bloodline with an allergy, because why not? Because that's what fate dealt her. I don't know, an allergy has to start somewhere, right? And once that starts, it can be passed down. But it does have to start somewhere. Alright. Now let's move on to The Boys Season 3, Episode 8. The Season 3 finale. Let's put on some music. Don't play that Walmart ad. Did you guys catch my discussion last time about a potential Persona 4 remake? Yuri Lowenthal himself spilled the beans. So I think this episode starts with Homelander going to see Ryan, who he's been searching for the entire season. And you know, I didn't really think about it, but yeah, Ryan technically would be Soldier Boy's grandson. Huh. So, Homelander finally finds Ryan. And Mallory tries to warn Butcher, but Homelander stops her. Don't worry, Mallory's still alive. let's see here. Homelander and Huey are at a gas station getting ready to make the trip to New York. Homelander knocks out Huey to try to save him, to prevent him from using any more temporary V. And Homelander... No, not Homelander. Did I say Homelander? I meant Butcher. So Butcher and Soldier Boy themselves go to New York. Annie picks up Huey. Huey has this long monologue about how his father was real strength. Not super strength, but real strength to keep the family afloat, keep a roof over their heads, food in the fridge. So Annie reveals to Huey, Temp V is fatal. Had you used any more, you'd probably be dead. Huey's just like, oh my god, Butcher saved me. He saved me by stopping me from going and using more temporary V. So, the boys are back together. Wait, no, not yet. I don't remember if I mentioned this last episode or was it the episode before. I think it was last episode. Starlight, while on Instagram Live, actually caught Homelander saying that, you know, he took care of Maeve. And now people are divided. One group hates Starlight, the other group hates Homelander. So now the government or whatever has a search warrant for Vought Tower to try to find Maeve. They try to transport Maeve to another location before the search warrant comes in, but Maeve is able to break out despite being gassed. I guess she's just that strong. So now the boys are back together. We have MM, we have Frenchie and Kimiko together with them. Huey and Annie are together with them, as well as Maeve. So all of them are together. They need to try to stop Butcher and Homelander. Otherwise, it might be another hero-gasm again, where Soldier Boy unleashes his blast and completely destroyed Hero-gasm, killing a good number of people. If he unleashes that same kind of strength at Vought Tower, thousands could be dead. Also, Frenchie gave MM a bottle of like a neurotoxin, a knockout gas, disguised into a Starlight perfume bottle. So they decide to go together to stop Butcher and Soldier Boy. Homelander Ashley and the Deep try to tell Homelander about Maeve's relocation, and Black Noir shows back up. Homelander and Black Noir talk, or rather Homelander talks to Black Noir. He reveals to Noir that Soldier Boy is his father. He's just like, you know, I can see you, right? I can see through that mask, your scarred face, your expressions when you're smiling, you're frowning. I can tell when you're lying. So he asks Black Noir, did you know I had a father out there? What? Did you know I had a father out there, still alive? Noir nods his head yes, hesitantly. And then we just see, man, poor Homelander. We just see him almost break down. But then he, Omni-Man to Immortal, punches him right through the gut, killing Black Noir. It's kind of crazy. I kind of wish we saw what Black Noir's face looks like now, instead of just in the flashback. So, Homelander has killed Black Noir. At this point, Homelander also knows that Soldier Boy is going after all of his old team members. Homelander meets up with Ashley, the Deep, A-Train, which actually A-Train had a scene with his brother. He basically gets disowned by his brother. You know, being like, did you kill Blue Hawk? Come on, man, I wanted him wanted on the TV screen. Arrested on the TV screen, not this. A-Train gets told to get out by his brother, never to see him again. So, ouch. Even though I don't like A-Train and he kind of sucks as a person, I don't know, maybe he didn't deserve this. So yeah, Homelander's meeting with the Deep, A-Train, and Ashley. Homelander's just like, when I was born out of a test tube, they promised me my own team. They promised me I would have my own family. But then I got you. You are not my family. So Homelander being angry and having, you know, a say on what's going on now, he tells the Deep to do something, which would be considered treason. He tells A-Train to announce that he killed Blue Hawk, and that's fine because they can do whatever they want. And he also tells Ashley to take off that wig. And yikes, we see the extent of how much Ashley has lost her hair. Yikes. I don't know what's going on with Ashley. Maybe it's the stress of being CEO of VOD and fearing for her life working with Homelander, or if something's actually wrong with her. We still don't know. I'm very curious, what's actually wrong with Ashley? So we don't find out until later that Homelander told the Deep to kill, I don't know, a senator for the running? I don't know. Someone running for some sort of election. Alright, so our characters, the boys, go back to this like watchtower place where it's their what's the word I'm looking for? Their main something of operation. Shit, what's the word I'm looking for? Surprise, Maeve actually grabs the knockout gas out of Kimiko's hand and just launches it out the window. And then she actually changes sides. She agrees with, she's siding with Butcher and Soldier Boy, and she's just like, Homelander needs to die. Because they were trying to convince Butcher, don't do this. There's still good in you. If you do this, thousands of innocents in Vought Tower will die. Butcher was about to turn sides. He was about to be like, alright, we can't do this. But then Maeve just like, no, we need to do this. Homelander needs to die. You know, at first I was wondering, what is Kimiko holding, right? I forgot it was the knockout gas in a perfume bottle. So, they lock everyone into the safe, and then they shut off the lights, that way Annie doesn't have powers. All the good that did, because she was still able to break out. So they need to split up. Frenchie and Kimiko, okay, they're all going to Vought Tower. Frenchie and Kimiko need to go into the lab so that Frenchie can cook up another dose of that knockout gas, and Kimiko can defend him. The rest of them go to Vought Tower and try their best to not only stop them, but also to evacuate the building. So yeah, at Vought Tower, Frenchie cooks while Kimiko defends him. Frenchie did get shot in the leg though, but I'm sure he'll be fine by next season. So finally, Homelander is face to face once again with who he now knows is his father. Homelander also brings out Ryan, introduces that This is your grandson. Soldier Boy, though, seemingly about to accept his son and grandson, he's then just like, I wish I was there to raise you better, so that you wouldn't be such a disappointment. And then he actually tries to attack and kill his own biological son, and doesn't care if his grandson is collateral damage. So Butcher turns, he tries to stop Soldier Boy. He's just like, why would you try to save him? For the kid. That's my wife's son. It's like, wait a second. Homelander fucked your wife? And you still want to save the little brat? So, Soldier Boy fights Butcher, and then Maeve fights Homelander. And she actually puts up a decently good fight, but I think it's only because Homelander was holding back. Homelander eventually does not hold back. He blinds Maeve in one eye. But then Maeve, using a metal straw, just stabs Homelander in the ear. By this point, everyone shows up. Huey, he evacuated the building with the control panels to the building, the lights, the camera, the microphone. Amazingly, that was not guarded. So, Annie, Kimiko, they're all fighting Soldier Boy alongside Butcher. Frenchie brings the Frenchie told Kimiko to bring them the knockout gas because Frenchie was shot, so he can't exactly run to them. Huey was tempted to take more temporary V, but he decides not to. Good man. But instead, he turns up all the lights and really lets Annie absorb all of its power, amplifying her own power. But that wasn't enough to stop Soldier Boy. Even with the gas that he was breathing in, the knockout gas, they still couldn't stop him. So, Soldier Boy was charging up his attack. He was about to unleash it, the biggest one we've seen yet. It would have killed everyone in the room, probably aside from Homelander, and it probably would have toppled Vought Tower. Maeve, though, not wanting her new friends to become collateral damage, as well as a kid, she sacrifices herself, tackles Soldier Boy out the window, and then she takes the blast point blank. The side of the Vought Tower was damaged. Maeve is presumed dead, but in reality, she's not. Vought had this memorial video, this tribute video to Maeve, being like she was the first proud lesbian superhero. I'm just like, wow, alright. But nope, turns out Maeve is alive, but she lost her powers now. I guess Soldier Boy's, Kamehameha is able to strip a soup of their powers. We saw it with Kimiko, and we now saw it with Maeve. Makes me feel like Butcher may want to utilize that instead of killing all the soups that he ate so much. Why not just have Soldier Boy strip them all of their powers? But that blast is pretty lethal, collateral damage, and there's no telling if Soups would even survive that blast. So Maeve, now without powers and presumed dead, gets to leave with Elena. They're gonna go somewhere safe, somewhere secret. I don't know if Maeve is gonna show back up on the show. We'll see. Soldier Boy gets put back on the ice, overseen by Mallory. Butcher's in the hospital, and he's told that he's dying. He doesn't have much time left. Maybe a couple months, a year, 16, 18 months maybe. So Butcher's dying. I don't know if he dies by the end of season 4. If not, then he'll be a part of season 5. Would that confirm seasons 4 and 5 take place within like a year to 2 years? We'll see. Unless they're ballsy enough to do a whole season of the show without Butcher. We shall see. I don't know yet. So Annie completely trashes her Starlight costume. I'm kind of surprised she even has that, you know? I don't know if Vought keeps them or if the soups themselves get to take it home. And now that she's no longer Starlight, she officially joins The Boys. Even in the subtitles, The Boys was capitalized. Well, that running senator or whoever that was that Deep killed, because he's now dead, someone needs to replace that person. The person being replaced is none other than Victoria Newman. So our group, The Boys, now have their eyes set on a new target to take down. I don't know, Congresswoman Victoria Newman or whatever position she's in. Mayor Newman, I don't know what she's in. The final scene we see for not only the episode, but the season. So Homelander descends down into a crowd, introduces Ryan, his son. This one guy, I think the show said he was a liberal. Dumbass. I mean, let's face it, we've seen liberals these days not demonstrate the smartest of actions. So this dumbass guy throws something at Homelander's son. Good job, genius. Because Homelander publicly executes the guy. Just laser beams his head off right in the middle of a crowd with hundreds, maybe thousands of witnesses. Who's in the crowd also? Todd. Janine's stepfather. And Todd is the one who starts the crowd cheering. And then the whole crowd starts cheering, and finally, once again, I see the context behind the meme of Homelander smiling in front of a crowd. Ryan also smiles as well. And then we get this meme music. I don't know if this is where it originated, or if this song existed before, and this show just like propelled the meme. I don't know. It's that boom, whatever that's called. I don't know. It was pretty funny. I don't know if they used the meme song on purpose or if they caused the meme to happen. I don't know. But yeah, The Boys Season 3. I liked it. You know, I enjoyed it. So before I get to bask in the glory that is Jeffrey Dean Morgan's acting in Season 4, I have Gen V to watch. Which, once again, I find it pretty unfair, pretty bullshit that when I tell someone else, hey, jump between these projects to keep up with continuity, I get treated worse than the dog shit you stepped on. But when I got told, make sure to watch Gen V before The Boys Season 4, I'm expected to comply as if I'm on my knees guzzling it down. I'm probably expected to be on all fours taking it in as well. I don't know, I find that pretty bullshit, pretty unfair. But that's the world we live in. That's the world I live in. Nothing is fair. At least, nothing is fair to me. This world is unfair to me and me alone. Well, I can't say that. A lot of people out there have worse lives than me. So I did watch the trailer for Season 1 of Gen V. And I stopped watching the trailer halfway because I was like, oh, I gotta watch this next. Because in the trailer, whoever the main character is, the girl, she's just like, you mean the first black girl to be a part of the 7? I'm just like, oh. Alright, the trailer alone already tells me woke is going to be injected into this show. You know, hints. Hints of woke were injected into the boys. Not a whole lot, but they were still in there. So, that being point blank, right in my face for the trailer of the show, makes me instantly not look forward to the show as much. But then again, who knows? Maybe Gen V is a masterpiece that I have yet to really indulge in. But we shall see. Just from the trailer itself, point blank woke in my face, my interest in the show has completely plummeted. But I will still watch it. I'm already 3 seasons deep into The Boys, and continuity-wise, I'm still gonna do it. But now my interest is completely gone. Man, just like so many others, I am so sick of all this woke crap. One hint of woke, one sniff of woke, and I'm instantly not interested anymore. You know, at first, I was interested to watch Fantastic Four First Steps in theaters, but then Female Silver Surfer, it's like, man, now I don't want to watch it in theaters. Now I just want to wait for it to come out online, on streaming. You know, one hint of woke, and I'm instantly not interested anymore. Or at least, you know, I'm still interested to the point I'll check it out, but not immediately. Like, I'm not going to be super hyped to watch it. I'm still going to watch Ironheart for the sake of completion, but I'm not looking forward to it. Only, what, 18 more days as of right now? 18 more days until I get the displeasure of enjoying Ironheart. Once again, on the bright side, I at least get to wash it down with Squid Game Season 3. Which, don't get me wrong, Squid Game was also injected with woke. We have a trans character in the show, don't we? I know people are going to make the argument just because a show has a trans character doesn't instantly make it woke. And I know. It's a very hard line to draw. Like, where is the cutoff? Where is the cutoff where having these representations for the sake of having them isn't woke? And, you know, a character on the show just happens to be this or that, and it's not considered woke. You can blame Hollywood, you can blame, well, I was about to say the gaming industry, but Hollywood primarily. Had Hollywood not leaned in so hard, if nowadays you see a handful of these, like, gay or trans characters in shows, then nobody would bat an eye. But thanks to how much exposure Hollywood has put in, now you see anything, and it's like, oh, it's this again. Even if it isn't that. You know, when we were playing 5-Second Rule, one of the questions was name 3, I think it was like name 3 lesbians. None of us could think of any. So I tried to think, like, how many Marvel characters have they made a lesbian lately? I was trying to think and I was like, I'm actually not too sure. Trying to think, and I don't think there's really any at all. Because for the most part, Marvel has given us either interracial, which is, you know, nothing wrong with that, or gay. Need I remind you of the gay Phastos kiss in Eternals? Or was there more? Oh no, most of Marvel recently has just been shitting on men. Anyways, before I run out of time for tonight, let me talk about From. But first, what music should I put on? I'm trying to think. What music should I put on? You know what? This came to mind. This does not match what we're going to discuss at all, but this came to mind, so I'm going to play it. Whoops. Okay. From Season 3, Episode 8. Once again, not necessarily anything bad that happened in this episode, aside from Fatima being unsufferable again. But yeah, not a whole lot of rage-inducing moments happened in this episode. And, oh my god, do my eyes deceive me? We're actually getting plot that moves the storyline forward? Oh my god! It's a miracle! Hallelujah! Christmas came early! So, last episode, at the very end, Fatima killed Tilly, the old lady. In this episode, we just cut to Boyd taking her out to the cabin, the little spot outside where, you know, he kept Sarah when she killed her brother. So they're discussing what to do from here. Fatima's freaking out. Oh, what's the big deal? You act like you've never killed anyone before. Fatima's freaking out, so they're thinking like, you know, I was thinking the people are gonna probably put her in the box. And yeah, I'm glad they actually pointed that out in the episode themselves, because I would have been furious if this happened and no one mentioned the box. But they did, so good job, writers, good. So Boyd actually tries to reassure Fatima, like, we'll figure it out. For now, we need to let someone else discover her body. Alright. So until then, Fatima needs to lay low and stay here, separated from everyone. I feel like it would have been suspicious had they realized, hey, where's Fatima? Of all people, where's Fatima? Right? So we go back to the town, and everyone's investigating because this one guy discovered Tilly's body. So Kenny and the cop Acosta are looking into it. A part of me was like, oh yeah, there's a police officer here. Could she maybe like run forensics? Fingerprints? And then I'm like, wait, they probably need, you know, tools and resources to do that. So Boyd goes in trying to act stupid, like, oh my goodness, there's a dead body here. Who would have done this? How long do we think this happened? Did anyone see anything? That kind of stuff. Boyd acting stupid. He also tried to shut Ellis up, being like, Ellis, don't say anything to anyone. Ellis is just like, what if we told people the truth? Are you kidding me, man? Man, I'm not even gonna start. So Kenny and Acosta, under Boyd's, someone came up with the idea to start interviewing everyone. Alright, good idea, buy some time. But it's gonna be pretty bad when it's time to interview Fatima. It's like, hey, where is she? She's the one person we haven't talked about yet, or talked to yet. Well, Donna shows up and she talks to Boyd alone because everyone else left. Donna actually brings up a good point, which I didn't even think about. Everyone's gonna instantly assume Sarah because she's done this before. No one's gonna suspect anyone, least of all Fatima. So everyone's gonna suspect Sarah. Even if Sarah's innocent, they're still gonna throw Sarah in the box, regardless of if she did it or not. So they need to figure something out fast. So they're coming up with a plan. Boyd and Ellis are coming up with a plan. They're gonna bring resources out to Fatima. She's gonna stay there for a little while things cool down and they fix this, they solve it. They come up with a solution. Ellis is really hell-bent on just trying to tell everyone the truth, which is stupid as hell. In the police station, the sheriff's station, Boyd and Ellis are arguing like, no, we should not tell everyone the truth. But Dad, yes, we should tell everyone the truth. Donna walks in and they just tell her the truth. It wasn't Sarah, it was Fatima. And once again, because this show loves doing this, the discussion happened off screen. So Boyd told Donna everything off screen. Now Donna's all caught up. It was Fatima. So Donna is just gonna be like, if you don't tell the people the truth, then I will. Don't make me do that, Boyd. Because it's gonna be worse if they don't tell the truth. Boyd already told everyone not to put Sarah in the box. What if Boyd tells everyone to do it again? They're gonna lose faith in him. They're gonna impeach him. They're gonna, more manpower against Boyd, right? They could body Boyd easily and just toss Sarah or Fatima into the box, or whoever they want. So there would actually be more riots if Boyd doesn't tell them the truth and then somehow they find out themselves. They would think Boyd's not trustable anymore. He's not fit to be the leader. And then, well, one by one they will slowly die off. So we still have that storyline continuing with Victor and Jasper. Jasper, the ventriloquist doll. He's trying to get Jasper to speak because in his memories he saw Jasper speaking to Christopher. So Sarah's not cutting it. He asks Tabitha to show up to help. And then, they work together for Victor to remember. He remembers that it was the church. He saw Jasper talking to Christopher in the church basement. So they go there, and I guess everyone in this show, in this universe, just has immaculate memory. They can remember every last detail. Or maybe it's just genetics, I don't know. Victor's father was able to remember everything his wife said word for word 30 years ago. Or 40 years ago, I don't know. Decades ago. And same thing with Victor. Sure, he needed some time to remember, but when he did, man, did he remember. went down to the basement, remembered absolutely every single word said like 30 years ago. And this is where we get some big juicy lore, finally. Took 3 fucking seasons and I finally get something to work with. And after hearing it, well, I already theorized, yeah, it's kind of what I had in mind anyways. So Victor remembered, it wasn't Jasper who was talking to Christopher, it was the boy in white. The boy in white was trying to tell Christopher how to escape this place, and that is saving the children. It all started with the children that Tabitha has been seeing. So it all started with the children, how they were killed by the people they trusted, and that started all of this. Wow, that sounds familiar. And, you know, not Jasper. The boy in white was telling Christopher the way to save them, you need to go into a faraway tree. And we finally get an origin to the faraway trees, kinda. So, something, the children were born in the dark and they died in the dark, they were killed in the dark. Something, they rearranged the roots into that symbol that I guess Jade has been seeing. And where that symbol was, with the roots, trees grow. Faraway trees grow. Alright, so there's an origin, kinda, to not only the symbol, but also the teleporting trees. Alright, it's something, I guess. So, Boy in White was trying to tell Christopher, to save them, you need to go into a faraway tree, teleport to them, save the children. But Christopher got angry and, because he didn't believe it. So, Victor told his mother, and we know what happened there. His mother left to try to save the children that she's been seeing visions of, and she never came back. Well, we finally got some fucking lore, so that's good. Not a whole lot of, continuity errors I can pick apart. Not a whole lot of this doesn't make sense because of this we saw before. Alright, puzzle pieces are coming together. Only thing is, I theorized before, the story just sounds like Corpse Party. The kids were unjustly killed by the person or people that they trusted and just cursed the place. It sounds damn near like Corpse Party. Because Victor remembered the boy in white said that the children were killed by the people they trusted. Is that person a principal of the school? Yeah, I just find it crazy. Victor has immaculate memory, was able to memorize every single word said 30 years ago. Dude has some on-point memory. We get other things that happened in this episode, like Jim going to scold Jade, and Victor's father is there. I guess we finally learned Victor's last name, because Victor's father introduced himself as Henry Kavanaugh, so that would make Victor's name Victor Kavanaugh. Alright. So we get this discussion between Henry and Jim, father to father. Cool. Not a whole lot to break down there. So Julie wants to go back to that place that she saw, with Randall, the ruins there. But Randall said stay away from there. So what does Julie do? She does not stay away from there. She gets Ethan, and they go back there. So, together they walk in, and Julie teleports to the dungeon that we saw last season. And I'm just thinking, wait a second, boy needed a torch to get in there. And Julie can just walk right in? Fine, whatever, I guess. And while Julie was in there, we see a whole lot of stuff. Pieces finally put together, kinda. So Julie said she was hearing screams. Turns out she's been hearing the screams of everything we saw the past 2 to 3 seasons. She saw herself, Marielle, and Rando chained to the wall screaming for dear life. But she also saw Martin, the dehydrated guy chained up to the wall, helping Boyd at the beginning of last season. Beginning of last season, when Boyd was stuck in that hole, someone threw a rope down to help Boyd escape. That was Julie. Julie threw the rope down to help Boyd, whether she knew it or not. And then elsewhere, we heard, or rather Julie heard, when Victor and Tabitha were walking through the caves under the town at the end of season 1, when the house collapsed. That was end of season 1, right? So, whatever this place is, time doesn't matter. Time really does not matter here. Julie was able to go back and technically witness events from the beginning of season 2, the end of season 1. It's like, alright, fuck all logic, I suppose. Then again, I did predict that, well, I was sure at some point in the show there would be some sort of time manipulation. I'm sure that was a case that was... I'm sure that was something that was going to happen at some point, and yep, there you go. So this dungeon, time does not matter. You know, or rather Julie was just teleported to the past to witness past events. Well, while Julie's consciousness was there, her real body was seizing up, so Ethan ran for help. Kenny and Acosta came over to help, and the moment Julie was pulled out of that thing's perimeter, she instantly snapped back to reality. Alright, Elgin's storyline. Once again, that Polaroid camera of his is just taking pictures on its own, showing places that Elgin needs to go to and do. And what a surprise, the first picture of the episode, we don't see what it is. So Elgin, seeing the picture, goes to the infirmary, the clinic, and he steals an IV bag as well as like a blood DNA tester. Oh man, I tell you, I would not have the willpower to do that on my own. Put a needle into my own vein and extract blood, I would not have the strength to do that on my own. Oh hell no, I would faint before I actually stab. So the picture is revealed to be an IV bag full of blood. So, okay, Elgin needs to do that for some reason. And then another picture gets printed, and it's the little hut, it's a little shed that Fatima's in, out in the middle of the woods. So Elgin goes there. Two things to break down from this. Two things that make no sense. One, Elgin somehow knew that Fatima was in there, because when he shows up, he's just like, Fatima? You there? Are you in there? How did he know Fatima was in there, of all people? And two, how did he find that place? It was a random little shed, random little wooden shed that he never seen before, out in the middle of the woods. I don't know how he found that, you know? Did he just instantly know how to get there, as if, you know, playing as a video game character and pinning something on the map that the character's never seen before but knows to go to? So, I don't know how Elgin found that spot and knew Fatima was in there, but whatever. He goes there and he tricks Fatima into following him. Well, Ellis and Boyd show up to see Fatima gone, so they're panicking. They're like, oh shit, where'd she go? So Elgin lured Fatima to the cellar that he found the secret room in, and he's just like, Fatima, you can't go. This is where the baby needs to be born. There is no baby, Elgin. Yes, there is. It's just not yours. Fatima tries to leave, but Elgin denies. So Elgin brings Fatima into the secret back room where there's a nicely made bed for her, and that's the episode. I don't know. The baby's not hers. I don't know. Is she a surrogate mother? I don't know. We'll hopefully get answers in the next 2 episodes, which I did see. The next 2 episodes is a 2-parter. Did they come out on the same day? Hold on, let me see. This shiny Dialga is kind of kicking my ass here. Oh no, they didn't. So these episodes did not come out on the same day. Revelations Chapter 1, Revelations Chapter 2 came out a week apart. Now that title gives me some sort of hope. Revelations Chapter 1 and Chapter 2. So we'll see. But yeah, like, the baby's not yours. I don't know if this is... I don't know how accurate this is. Did God impregnate Mother Mary remotely? You know, is it that kind of thing? Something remotely impregnated Fatima? Yeah. Unless I'm forgetting something. That's pretty much it. I probably forgot something. There you go. Dead City from and the boys. I'm not gonna start Gen V immediately, because I do have other shows to watch. But, you know, I'll start Gen V at some point. And then I finally get to watch Season 4 of The Boys. Is this the end of From? No, there's 2 more episodes for Season 3. And then Season 4 is not out yet. Season 4 of From, along with Season 5 of The Boys, should be out next year. Yeah, the 2 revelations. Yeah, that's the final 2 episodes of Season 3. These 2 episodes, being titled Revelations, better have some bang-on answers, or I swear to God, I'm gonna be so disappointed. The show is, you know, is finally giving some answers. Finally, after 3 goddamn seasons. And if you title 2 episodes being Revelations Chapter 1 and 2, and don't give me shit, I will be furious. Answer some questions, ask more questions than answered. Oh no, I already know something that's gonna be... I already got something spoiled about these last 2 episodes. Which is great. Now that's a whole different thing to discuss, to theorize. I know a particular character shows up. What the hell does this character mean? I don't know. The hell with my life, I guess. We shall see. These episodes better bang, or I swear to God, this show wasted 3 seasons of my life. One more reset. then I'll call it for tonight. I do need to wake up early tomorrow. I have to be the one to open the store tomorrow. While my dad brings my sister to go see a doctor friend. And no Dialga again. You know what? No, one more reset. So now that we're done with the boys, we still have Dead City Season 2 and From to finish. Once those two are done, then I'll move on to the next set of shows to watch. Alright, no Dialga tonight, yet again. See you next time for more Dialga hunts. Alright, bye now.